Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to cut and sew this trending Ankara baggy trouser, and this is the inspiration I have. I want you to have a drawstring at the hem like this one you are seeing on your screen. This is what we are making today. So let's get started. For this trouser, you need your round hip measurement and you need your trouser length. That is the two measurements you need to take.
The first thing that you need to do is to mark a straight line. Just come down like half inch and mark it straight down. Then this line will be the waistline. The line will be the waistline, and all the measurements will be starting from this waistline now. So the length of the trouser is 44 inches, but because we are going to put a band on the trouser, I'm going to remove 2 inches from that 44 inches. The length is 44. If I remove the 2 inches from the 44, I will have 42. If I'm placing my tape now, I'll be placing that 2 inches on that line on the way. That is where I'll be placing my tape. So 2 inches is above this line now. From that line now, I'm going to mark my waist to the crotch line. And to get that, because this trouser that we are making is a free trouser, is not a fitted one, so I'm going to be doing my hip divided by 4 plus 2 or 3, depend on what you want. So the hip is 48. If I divide the 48 by 4, I will have 12 inches. So I'm going to add 2 to 3 inches because this is a high waist trouser. So I'll be adding 3 inches. You can do 2, you can do 2.5, you can do 3, depend on how free you want the crotch sides to be free. So I'll be using 3 inches. Hip divided by 4 plus 2.5 or 3 inches. I'll be doing 3 inches. So the hip is divided by 4 is 12 inches plus 3, I will have 15 inches. So I'm marking 15 inches. The crotch line I'm using now is 15 inches. Make sure that the 2 is still on that line, the 2 inches for the band. So I will mark 15 inches. So here is the 15 inches. I'm going to connect it to have a straight line like this. So this is our crotch line. From that crotch line now, I'm going to go up by 2.5 inch, and this will be our hip line. After you mark it, you are going to connect it to have a straight line. So this is it. This line is the hip line, and this is the crotch line. The next line is going to be the trouser length. This is a free trouser. We are not going to be marking our knee line. So I'm still placing my 2 inches on the waistline. So I'm going to mark the length of the trouser. The length of the trouser is 44 inches. So I'm going to mark 44 inches, still placing my tape on the waistline, 2 inches above the waistline. I'm going to mark the length of the trouser, which is 44. This is the 44. Then I'm going to connect it now. After connecting it, I'm going to add 1 inch for seam for folding the hem of the trouser. I'm using 1 inch. You can use 2 inches. Then I'm going to connect it. So this is the trouser length, while this is the folding allowance. Now it is time to add our round measurement. So you are going to come to the waistline. You are going to input your hip divided by 4 plus 3. The hip I'm working with is 48. Divided by 4 is 12. If I had 3 inches, that will give me 15 inches. So I will mark 15 inches on the waistline. Elastic trouser, we will not be using waist measurement on the waistline, we'll be using hip measurement. So I have 15 on the hip line. I'm going to take the 15 and mark it on the hip line and on the crotch line. After marking it, I'm going to connect the 3 points into a straight line. And this is it after I have marked it. Now you come to the crotch line. From this line here, you are going to mark 3 inches. You mark 3 inches from this crotch line, from this hip line that we mark, come out by 3 inches. If you are working for a hip below 48 inches, you can use 2.5. So after we are done marking, you are going to connect it with a curve like this. Just don't make it too deep, just connect it like this. And this is our crotch curve. After that, you come to this crotch line, you mark whatever you have there. I have 18 inches. I'm going to take that 18 inches to the hem of the trouser. Whatever you have on this crotch line, you can remove 2 inches from it if you don't want your hem of the trouser to be too wide. But if you want it to be too wide, you can use whatever you have on this crotch line. You can take it down to the hip line, and that is what I will be doing now. I have 18 there. I'm going to take the 18 to the hem of the trouser. After that, I'm going to connect this point to this point with a slanted line. If you have a long ruler, you can make use of it. I think the line is not balanced, so I will take it again. And that is that. Ignore this one, this line. Come to the waistline. From this waistline, from this crotch side, you are going to come down by 1 inch. Come down by 1 inch. Then you connect it to meet this side. This is the side. You connect it to meet. And this is it. Now you need ½ inch to join your trouser to the band. So you are going to go up from this point now. You go up by ½ inch. Then you connect it together. So when you are cutting it out, you are cutting from this point, and that is all. I'm going to cut it out. This is the front. Now time to cut out the back. To cut out the back, you are going to place this pattern now, or if you cut it directly on your fabric, you are going to place it on another pattern or another fabric, and this time around you are going to add more inches to whatever you have on this part. So if I check here now, I have 18 inches. So whatever I want to cut out, I will make sure I add 4 inches to that measurement. Anything I want to cut out here, I will add 8 inches to it, and the length, I'll be adding extra 3 inches on the length, the pattern we are using for the back. So this is it. As you can see, it's longer than the length of the front. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this on it like this. I'm making sure that this side is equal on this side, and the hemline is the same thing also. Let me pin it. This is it after I have pinned the both of them together. I'll come to the crotch side. I'm going to increase the crotch line. You increase it like this. Whatever you had on the crotch line for the front, which is 3 inches, you are going to mark that 3 inches again for the back crotch extension. Then on this point here, I'm going to mark 2 inches round till you get to the hem of the trouser. Then you are going to connect the point. You are going to connect it together like this. After that, come to the hip line, extend the hip also. You mark 2 inches on the hip line, 2 inches. Then you are going to connect it. And this is it. So I will extend the back waistline. Extend the back waistline like this. You are going to increase. This is where the butt is going to sit, so you need allowance for the butt to sit comfortably. So when you sit down, the back will not be opening at the back. So here you are going to go up from this line. Just go up by 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches. That 2.5, you are going to connect it to meet this point. So this is it. Now you need to increase the back also. So extend the line and add 2 inches or 1.5. So I use 2 inches. So that 2 inches, you are going to connect it to this point. That is all for cutting of the back. So the next thing is to cut it out. This is all for the back. I'm going to remove the pins. So this is the front and this is the back. So when you want to cut it, you cut this one 2 times. You are going to, this one is going to be 2, while this back is going to be 2 also when you want to cut it. And that is all for the cutting. Now to cut it on your fabric, this is how you are going to fold your fabric. You are going to fold your fabric into 2 like this. Then you place the pattern on it. I already made this video before, but I noticed that I lost a clip. That is why I decided to film another one on the pattern for you to see. So this is it. I folded it into 2, then place your pattern on it and cut it out. So here, this is the front now. I have 2 pieces for the front and I have 2 pieces for the back. So I'm going to take the back now. I'm going to keep the back and work on the front. This is the front now. From the waistline, this is the part that is straight. We want to mark out the pocket. I come down by 7.5 inches. Then from this end, I mark 4 inches. So this 4 inches, I'm going to connect it with a curve like this to meet the 7.5. After that, I'm going to cut it out. After cutting it, I'm going to open it up for you to see. This is it after I open it up. So I'm going to cut out another fabric now. This is 4 fabric. I have 4 pieces of fabric like this. I'm going to place it on each other. I have 12 inches length and 7.5 inches wide. This is for the pocket. I'm going to divide it into 2. I have 2 here, so I will keep it, then work on the second pieces. I will take the pieces down. I will open it up and place it on one of the trouser like this, one of the front like this, making sure that I'll place it in such a way that the wrong side is facing each other, and I will do the same thing for the other side. Wrong side is facing each other, so I will arrange it perfectly. Then I'm going to cut out. After cutting, you are going to place the right side facing each other like this. Then you cut out the second one and you are going to place it on it like this also. Then you take it to your sewing machine. You go and sew it by 1/4 inch. I'll go ahead to go and sew it like this by 1/4 inch. I will do the same thing on the other side. This is it after I am done joining it. I open it up like this, then I top stitch it around because this is the curved part. You need to notch it and top stitch. So this is it now. I'm going to fold it in like this, arrange it, then do the same thing on the other end. So this is what we have. I'm going to turn it to the wrong side. If I turn it, this is it. So now you are the 2 pieces that you keep, you are going to introduce it now, and this is the 2. I'm going to place it on the first one like this, making sure that the right side is facing the right side. You are going to do the same thing for the other side too. And this is it. Then you will take the 2 like this and you are going to go and sew it by 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch. Just sew it down the way I'm marking it. After marking it, you will take the 2 pockets and go and sew it down. After sewing, this is what we have here. So I'm going to turn it to the right side. So here, this is the 2 pockets. So what I will do here is, you see this upper part, you are going to sew it down. You sew it down here. You are going to sew the pockets and the main fabric. You are sewing it together. This is it now, and make sure you align this part and sew it also. Do the same thing for the other side. This is it after we are done, and this is what the pocket looks like. Now you are going to bring out the back. We want to join the front and the back together, and we are going to put drawstring on the hem of this trouser. So we are going to fold. This is how you are going to join the side. You are going to take the straight parts of the back and straight parts of the front. You are going to join it together like this. Then you go and sew it by 1/4 or 1/2 inch. You do the same thing for the other side too. Then you take it to your sewing machine and you are going to sew it by 1/2 or 1/4 inch. You are sewing the part that there is pocket, not the curved part. So here I already joined it and I fold the allowance we added for the hem. After I join it, I iron it open because we want to put a drawstring on that part. So this is the fabric I'll be using. I have, this is satin, bridal satin. I have 2.5 inches, and I fold it with half inch on the side. I fold it in by half inch, and the length is 17 inches. So here, this is it now. If you are turning to the back, and if I measure it, I have 1.5 inch here. I already fold the half inch inside. So I will divide that 1.5 inch into two. Then I will mark the center of it. I will mark it around. This is it, and this is the second part also. You are going to mark the middle of it. You are marking the back, not the side that you fold in. So after marking it, this is the two now. I'm taking it to the sewing machine now, and I'm going to fold it like this. Then fold in, do the same thing for this side. You are going to fold it and you are going to sew it. Do the same thing for the two. And this is it. I already fold it the half inch. Then this is how I'm going to place it. Watch closely. You are going to match the center of the trouser with the center of these pieces. Match the center of the fabric and the center of the trouser, the joining part, and that is how you are going to sew it. You sew it round. After sewing the center, you are going to sew the hem like this, the side. You are going to sew the side like this, and repeat the same process for the other side. Just sew it a little so that your rope can pass. So you are going to sew it, and this is it. This is the rope that we are going to pass through it. So I'm going to join the rope on the machine. You need to fold it, and this is, I have 1.5 inches here, and this is how I'm going to fold it. You fold it this part here, and you take it like this, fold the two together. Then you are going to fold it again, making 4 fold. Then you are going to sew it down, and the length of it is times 2 of what I have on the fabric. So you are going to place it on it like this, and make sure you have like 10 inches. You have extra here. So I'll go and join everything together now and come back to show you. After joining, this is it, and if you turn it to the right side, you will see that you have it very neat there. And this is the second one also. I have go ahead to do the same thing on the both side, and this is the rope now. I already join it. This is how you are going to pass through your rope. Take your pin, insert the rope into your pin. Then you take your pin and insert it through that hole we have there. Just insert it gently. And you are going to remove it when you get to this point. After removing it, you are going to pin it, put it inside like this. You are going to put it inside again. So this is what we have now. Then you are going to remove your pin, and this is it now. If you turn it to the other
to the right side, this is how it is. Then you are going to drag the rope out like this, and this is how it's going to be. This is what the drawstring looks like. I'm going to tie it for you to see. So here, this is how it's going to be now. So if you turn it to the other side, this is the other side. I'm going to repeat the same process for the other leg. So this is the other leg, and I have go ahead to do the same thing. What I'm doing here is I want to join the both crotch side. I'm placing each other like this. Make sure you match the crotch side, the front crotch side, match the two of them together. Remember, we cut out two for the front. You are going to pin it down. So this is it now. Do the same thing for the other crotch side. You pin it together. After you are done pinning, you are going to go ahead to go and join it by ½ inch here. You do the same thing for this other side. This is the crotch side. You join the both crotch together. I'm going to take it to the sewing machine. This is it after I am done joining it, and I go ahead to weave that part. You can do it when you are done with the trouser. I just decided to do my own this way. So this is it now. This is what we have here. Then you come to this root side, the place that there is drawstring. You are going to fold the two together like this. This is the inseam side. You fold it together. You are going to pin it. You do the same thing for the other leg. You pin the both of them together. Just go ahead to pin it down. This is the place, this is the other side that we have not sewn. Pin all of them together. Then you are going to take it to the sewing machine now and go ahead to go and sew it by ½ inch. So this is what we have after we are done. And the next thing that we need to do is to attach our, to cut out the band that we are going to use. I'm going to arrange the waist very well, the waist side, and I will check whatever I have there. I will measure it. I have 25 and half. I have 25 and half there, so I have cut out 25 and a half for the band, and is measuring 5 inches. Remember, we remove 2 inches. So if I fold it into two like this, I will have 2.5. I did not have enough fabric, so I decided to join it. Like, I have like 3 pieces there, so I join it together and I sew it round. So this is the elastic that we are going to use. I'm using the ½ inch elastic. So to put your elastic, you are going to mark, just mark ½ inch. You are going to mark that ½ inch around the fabric, the fabric that we are using for the band. You are going to measure ½ inch, mark it round and connect it. So this is the ½ inch. After that, from that first line, you are going to mark ½ inch again. So this is it. After you are done marking that part, you are going to mark another ½ inch, making 3 lines. This is it here, and I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. You are going to mark that same thing. So here, this is it now. After I am done marking it, I have 3 lines there. we want to put our elastic, and to do that you need where you are going to insert the elastic, because you are going to sew it around. So from this place now, I'm going to sew it around. I'm going to sew the 3 lines. I'm going to just go ahead to go and sew it. This is it after I am done, and this is the opening we left earlier, the 1 inch we left earlier. This is where I'll be passing my rope, and this is the elastic now. To cut out the elastic that you are going to need, you are going to measure a round waist, and you are going to remove 5 inches from that measurement. The waist is 38. I'm going to remove 5 inches, so I will have 33 inches, and that is what I have done. I cut out 3 elastic because we have 3 hole that we are going to pass through the elastic. So I'm using my pin now to pass through the elastic to the inside the band. So you are going to insert it like this. So after that, when you get to this point, you notice that the second part of the elastic is want to enter the band, so you are going to pin it with the fabric. Then you continue doing your elastic. Then this is it here. I'll bring out the elastic from the band. I will remove the pin, then place each other like this, and I'm going to go ahead to go and sew it on the machine. After that, I'm going to come back and show you. This is it here. I am done sewing it, so I'll just extend the band like this. I will stretch it like this, then the elastic is going to go inside, and that is the one elastic. I will do the same thing I did earlier. I'm going to repeat it on the second part also. So here, this is it now. I'm going to sew this second elastic also. Then after sewing it, I'm going to stretch it so the elastic can go inside the hole, the one outside. You are going to stretch it like this so the elastic will just go inside, and this is the second elastic. Repeat the same process for the third one, and this is what we have here. This is what we have for the band. Now you are going to close that opening we pass through the elastic. You are going to go ahead to go and sew the 3 opening. So this is what we have for the band now. I'm going to go ahead to go and join it to the trouser. And this is it. To join the band to the trouser, you are going to fold the trouser like this. Then you are going to match the front and the back, then notch the side. Do the same thing for the other hand. So there we have 2 notch there. You are going to repeat the same process. Notch the 4 side of the band. You are going to notch it. You notch it here. You do the same thing for this one. After you have 4 notch on the back, you are going to place that notch. You are going to place it on the trouser. So here it is now. So look for the notch and match it with the 4 notch. You are going to pin it. So you are going to look for the other notch, the notch on the trouser and the notch on the band. You are going to match all of them together. After I am done matching the band to the trouser, I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and sew it. This is how you are going to stretch the band with the main trouser. When you want to sew it, you will see that both the band and the trouser will match. So this is it now after I am done joining the elastic, the band to the trouser. This is what we have. As you can see, the band is beautiful. You can use 1 inch elastic for this, but this is what I have. That is why I make use of it. And this is our drawstring. This is how it's going to look like. This is what you will have. So this is, I just cut out a rope here. I'm going to divide that rope into two, then mark the center of the band. Then you are going to go ahead to go and join it. If you want to just put, this is just for a fashion, nothing much, because we have elastic on the waistline. Then this is optional. If you just want to put it, that you want to put rope there, this is the best option. And that is all for this today's tutorial. Thank you for watching, guys. I will see you guys in another video. Bye.